Hello and welcome to Aviation 101 with Laura. Today's video sounds like a really long title. It's about HR 3935, which is colloquially being called the 2024 FAA Reauthorization Bill. Technical title is on the screen, but really I want to talk about why dispatchers and dispatcher students should actually care that this reauthorization bill just passed. I know I don't normally do a lot of current event type videos, but this one actually came to my attention and I think it's really important that we look into it a little bit further. This video is sponsored by my sponsor listener.io. So if you are looking for a place for mental health counseling online, check them out. Use the link in my video description, and you can even use the discount code that I posted there to get a discount on your first session. So why should I care about this HR 3935 that passed here a few days ago? It's May 2024 as I record this video. And why I even got into this is I saw some people online talking about it. And so I decided to look into it further. It's on a Facebook group I'm a member of with a lot of other dispatchers. So, and I'll put the link to this in the video description so you can check it out too. But it does show it became public law just last week. This American Aviation Act signed by Congress. And when you delve deep into it, I had no idea there was anything about dispatchers in here. But a couple of things stood out to me when I looked at this. Number one, this is pretty interesting. No remote dispatching. So no working as an aircraft dispatcher outside of a physical location designated as a dispatching center. Don't really know what that actually is going to entail as far as the FAA and actual legislative things that the FAA will come out, but that is what Congress is telling the FAA to be doing here. So that makes sense. I think from an operational control standpoint as dispatchers, we really, well, some people may prefer to work at home, and I do love the idea of working at home. It does kind of destroy the synergy of shared operational control between the dispatcher and the pilot in command and that whole team of other people that are typically present at a dispatching center or a flight following center, which you can see they've talked about here. This is not really the main thing that I want to talk about, though. It's actually a little farther down, again, and you can look at this on the link I've posted, that it talks about, okay, 44748 aircraft dispatching. A, you can't serve as a dispatcher for an air carrier unless you have a dispatcher certificate. Okay, which sounds like super, why are they even saying that on the surface? But what I am taking it to mean and what I've been seeing people talking about is it doesn't say what kind of air carrier in this reauthorization for the FAA funding bill. So I don't know if they are going to apply that, because technically air carrier, if you look at 14 CFR, it includes not just 121 air carriers doing flag and domestic operations, which currently, of course, do require a dispatcher and a dispatcher certificate, but a supplemental air carrier, an air carrier can also conduct supplemental, which currently is a flight follower and not actually technically required to have a dispatcher certificate. So that's one possible addition that I'm seeing from here. The second and really much bigger area would be, are they saying that an air carrier operating under Part 135 also has to have dispatcher certificates? And it says an appropriate aircraft dispatcher certificate. Then it says you need to present it. Okay, it's kind of like stock things that is already in 121 rules. As far as then, if you keep reading down C1, it says each air carrier, again, it doesn't say just flag and domestic, because I mean, that's already a thing. But each air carrier shall establish and maintain sufficient, don't know how the FAA is going to define that, dispatch centers and flight following centers necessary to maintain operational control of each flight of the air carrier at all times. And then 2A says we have to have a sufficient number of aircraft dispatchers on duty at that dispatch center. And again, we can't do the remote dispatch because they have closed that loophole. And then we have to have enough control with equipment, which is good to have operational control, and then it has to have some kind of cybersecurity protections, also good. We don't want people attacking a dispatch center because that is definitely bad. Now, interestingly, it then gives a little prohibition about dispatching somewhere else if there's an emergency, which I can totally understand. But if you read the dispatch center and flight following centers, they keep talking about flight following centers. So I'm again wondering, are they going to allow that to continue for a supplemental carrier? Or are we, I don't know. It's in the information here. Again, I'm going to zoom in on this. So my real question here is like, is the FAA, under this new bill that's been passed, going to have to require certificated aircraft dispatchers under operational control for a Part 135 operation? I don't know. There's not a whole lot in here about who has to have the operational control centers. It just says air carrier. So I'm kind of puzzled by that, and I'm kind of curious what you guys are hearing. I would love to know in the comments, what do you think about this? And secondly, just talk a little bit more about air carriers. Some of my dispatch graduates from the course I teach are only 21 or 22. They are allowed to test at 21 and 22. They get a letter of aeronautical competency, which they hold on to. And when they turn 23, then they become a certificated dispatcher. But some of my students, when they're 21 or 22, they go work as a flight follower under supplemental rules, or they work at a Part 135 operator. So my question is, if the FAA is going to start requiring certificated dispatchers, which is in the beginning part of this rule here, 44748, right here at the top, are you going to have a certificate to do that work? And then more big rule, are they going to start requiring that for 135 operators? And how is that going to all be enacted and ruled out? So another question I would have, and I would love to hear in the comments, what do you think? I am I'm a little concerned, I guess, as to the role of working in dispatch at a Part 135, which my current graduates at 21 and 22, they are allowed to do while they wait to turn 23. Are all those jobs going to be closing to them? I don't know. And so again, it's interesting looking at this rule. So I'm just curious to know what you think. I have been looking all over the internet. I looked at the Airline Dispatcher Federation website. Can't find anything there. I really can't find anybody really analyzing this or talking about it. So that's what I do. I go on YouTube and then say my thoughts about it. But let me know your thoughts. Put them in the comments. I really would like to know, what do you think? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch for more dispatch content in the weeks to come, especially if I get some more news on this. I'll get another update video together because this one is interesting and I don't think people are talking about it. I would love to know what you guys think. Have a great day.